I'm Dan Wolf. Laura has the night off. Thanks for joining us. Some residents of a Superior apartment building have been allowed back in their homes tonight after a portion of the building broke off and collapsed to the ground this afternoon. Happened about 2:30 at the Franklin Court Apartments on 37th Avenue East, right off Highway 53, not far from the Nemadji River. Now, the fire chief says a small part of the building collapsed, which then severed the gas meter feeding the building. That led to a natural gas leak. They evacuated the apartments and a nearby daycare center while fire crews assessed the situation. People with the daycare were able to head back in as firefighters investigate just how safe this building is. So far, there have been no reports of injuries, thankfully. Northern News Now's Cara Kopp is live on scene for us tonight, as she's been for the last few hours now. Cara, when we talked to you an hour ago, no one was allowed back inside the building. Has that changed?
Yeah, Dan, the scene has officially cleared here since I first arrived. The commotion really started when first responders were called in to a portion of the building behind me collapsing. Now we are actually able to give you guys an up-close view at what happened. As you can see, there's a small portion of the building that is just now on the ground. The fire staff on the scene told me it collapsed onto what was an old utility room that housed two old boilers. A gas line that is connected to the building was cut in the process of the building falling. We were told that there were two residents in the building at the time, along with a nearby daycare that was evacuated. However, after the natural gas line was fixed within an hour's time, those at the daycare were given permission to head back inside. Superior's fire chief told us that most of the power in the building is electric, so residents shouldn't expect any power issues when they return to the building.
We did secure the electrical to the building as we kind of went through it, and then Water, Light and Power turned it off at the pole, but now they're working to re-energize that. So they should have power to run their refrigerators and things like that.
It was not long ago a group was on scene investigating the integrity of the building. They told me that they were clearing all residents but 2 units to head back inside. The specifics of what happened are still unclear. Of course, this is an ongoing story, and we'll bring you those updates as they come in.
Yeah, hopefully everyone will be back in that building soon as crews work to determine the structural integrity of that facility. Cara Kopp reporting live for us from Superior. Thank you, Cara.